What is up, party people? Happy Wednesday. I am watching on the TV some of the statements being made to Koberger.
Yeah, while he sits there and stares like a fish.
Stares at them.
There's just nothing in that dude's eyes, man.
No.
Nothing.
What do you think it was, man? Because I was sitting there to go, was it ego? Did he think that because he was taking all those classes, that he was smarter than everybody else and that he could find a way to commit a heinous crime and get away with it? Or is he just a demented SOB?
I think a little bit of both. I think somehow he fixated on one of those girls.
Yeah.
And because if I remember correctly, they found like things in his socials leading to one of those girls, and that he would be in the area a lot. But I think it's a little bit of both, Brother Chad. I think he wanted to see what he could do, and he fixated on one of these girls, and he carried it out.
It's just like you said, we were joking yesterday about this, Jaws, right? Like his eyes roll over, lifeless eyes, doll's eyes. That's what it looks like with him. It's an empty vessel.
Yeah, just nothing. I mean, look at him. He's just sitting there.
Yeah. And you think to yourself, what went through your mind? Because that's what everybody wants, right? They want closure.
We want to know why.
We want to know why. We want the closure. If you're a family member, you want to know. But as the average person, I mean, the mystery of life is, what's the biggest mystery? What happens after you die? But we're always curious when somebody flips out and shoots up a place. We want to know why. Why? Because everybody thinks, could that be me?
Yeah.
Could I do that? Could I twist off like that? This, he gives no indication about anything. And, I know Trump weighed in. He's like, he thinks he should say. He's not going to say anything. He doesn't have to.
No.
Did he have to be there?
I think he's got to be there.
Okay.
For the victim, yeah, for the sentencing and victim impact statements, he's got to be there.
Man, you just like if you're one of those parents, just 2 minutes in a room with him.
2 minutes alone, brother.
That's it. I don't need anything more than that. That guy is they showed where he was going to stay because he will never they said he will be completely in solitary confinement forever. He's going to spend the rest of his life 23 hours inside of a room, solitary confinement with nothing.
And apparently this prison in Idaho where he's going to be living is apparently it's not known as a very nice prison.
No, I don't think it's
as far as prisons go.
It's not. It's not the Ritz. There's no tennis courts. He's going to get out once a day for an hour inside of a cage.
Mm-hmm.
And they say even if they were to introduce him years down the road to other prisoners, they do that in a way where they put other prisoners inside of a cage. And they're like all inside of a cage next to each other to see if they can even, like they're animals. Because they are. Because when you're dealing with people like this, that's what you're dealing with. And This guy is, listening to the people speak, everything is gone. And, your world may be, you can repair bits and pieces of it, but the portion of that it's shattered in a way that's not an accident or a heart attack or something, in the brutality of what they went through. And you relive that in your mind. What could I have done? Could I have done anything to save my kids, et cetera, et cetera? It's, and the why, that's the other thing. The why you will never know.
Yeah, and that's what they can't compel him to do by law.
Yeah.
And, and then, what's somebody going to say? I see how that could help. I want to know. I would love to know exactly what was going through this guy's mind, but I'm kind of like what you just said there, Brother Chad. I think it's both.
Yeah, because I think
he's definitely a sociopath.
Yeah, absolutely. Because there was talks that people who went to school with him said he was his ego was big. Like he was the smartest guy in the room, thinking, that I think he really thought he could get away with it. And he couldn't. First of all, it was a horrible job. But the second thing is you were never going to get away with something like that. That the way that you did it, and the fact that you left survivors and the survivor guilt. Listening to some of them talk today, the panic attacks they have, you're going to live with that forever. You were mere feet away from a brutal death, and you survived. And that question still remains too: is why did he not go in there?
Yeah.
And then the other question is, and the thing we've talked about, this is Ashley Banfield early this morning or late last night, talking about the people outside. Here we go. There we go. We're good. We're good. King Louis, cool.
Live shot back out at the courthouse where he's going to hear his sentence. This is live. This is my producer, Lindsay Haller, for my podcast, Drop Dead Serious. That is the line of people who have already started to line up to get some time inside that courtroom. They've got their deck chairs. They're going to spend the night. This is Media Village. Court TV and News Nation have tents already set up outside the courthouse so that we don't miss any of the coverage. But there you go. That is some commitment to people who have decided, I want to be in there for this momentous occasion.
Momentous occasion? This is a vile human being that deserves 4 death sentences, let alone 4 life sentences without the possibility of parole. And the fact that you weirdos who aren't in the media would line up outside of there. This isn't a concert from the 80s where you had to go to, the Ticketmaster or Sam Goody Records to wait out there for something. My goodness.
Yeah. This morning, whenever I was watching it, and I saw this group of ladies, like as if they took the day off for a ladies' day out. And they're looking at the camera and they're just smiling and waving.
Like they're on the Today Show.
Like they're on and they were on the Today Show. And that's just it.
It's,
come on.
It's crime attainment. It's what it's become. It's the thing that we've talked about, the whole thing with why it's going to be tough for Trump to quiet down all the people about Epstein is it's become crime attainment. It's become something where the average person who probably waiting in line doesn't care about Obama and what they did in Russia, doesn't care about the Japanese and Americans coming with a trade deal or anything like that. They are the pop culture people. And they're grab onto. It's like those people that waited out there for Karen Reed and her sentencing, all wearing pink shirts.
Yes.
Like it's Breast Cancer Awareness Day.
Right.
Oh, just insane.
And the Luigi Mangione crowd.
Oh, and have you seen that? Like they keep selling out that stupid play they've got for him.
I believe it, man. Nothing shocks me anymore.
I mean, it's not new. Go look at there's always been that weird fascination, especially for ladies. We're looking at you. I'm not trying to say anything, but I'm saying something because let's just see here. Oh. Charles Manson.
Richard Ramirez.
Richard Ramirez had all kinds of hotties. My goodness, what's the Menendez brothers?
Yeah.
One of them got married, and then he fell in love with another chick, and he's leaving his wife, and he can't even leave prison.
It's insanity, man.
I'm fascinated, though, that weird kind of culture. And I told you today, because you're like, this is exactly what Boise is like, and I was laughing.
Yeah.
But I said there are people in line. One of them's a killer.
Yeah. Boise is a little town, man. It's a small, big town. And I would say it's about the size of Murfreesboro. And there are people there that, I mean, they're just they just get excited whenever somehow Idaho is in the world focus.
Even if it's
something like this.
Yeah, because outside of the Broncos and the, outside of.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they beat my football team back in that Fiesta Bowl. So that put them on the map.
My niece's little brother's dad, he is the head groundskeeper at the Blue Turf.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. He's so like whenever he's in town, he's just wearing nothing but Boise State stuff.
Dude, I had to sit in church one time right by Coach Pete. Oh. And I mean, he's a great guy. I just looked over at him and I said, as a Sooner fan, Coach, you're a dirty dog. He just laughed.
Praise the Lord.
But yeah.
I'm just fascinated by the people that can go to, because court, like if you've never been to court, just to see the way that court operates as an American, as the freedoms we have to go there and to see it. Because I know when I was a kid, we did, a couple days we went down and we went to like traffic court and stuff like that. They took us just to show us, look, this is how the community works. This is how we work as a nation. And that was interesting. But if you've never been, it's neat. But these people aren't there because they're trying to get some sort of civic lesson. They're there because they're bizarre.
Yeah. They're getting on TV.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of court, we'll talk about this a little bit later. But we should talk about it now. There was 20 cases in Massachusetts that have been dropped because their DAs are all on strike. And so are their defense attorneys and everything. So they aren't taking cases anymore. So they have to drop all the cases, including violent crimes, because there's nobody to have their case.
Wow.
Isn't that nuts?
Wow.
They're on strike. I'm like, you guys can go on strike?
That's, yeah. How do they go on strike? Well, I guess they can. Or do you just, or does the DA just fire?
I don't, it's weird, right? I don't. But they said they refuse to take cases, and it's gone on for months. And, people have a right to a speedy hearing. And so they're just having to drop all of these cases.
Interesting.
So weird. A lot of stuff to get to today. We've got some more on Ozzy. Man, the tributes pouring in everywhere. Did you see The Who with their tribute last night?
Yeah. Apparently Coldplay last night in Nashville did a version of Changes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's
I
interesting.
bet you that was pretty good.
Did anybody get caught at Coldplay last night? You know what we're talking about. You know what we're talking
Here
about.
comes the kiss cam.
Oh, remember, if you go to Oasis, they don't care and they're not going to out you because it's really mostly about them. We got One Hit Wonder Wednesday, which is about you. This is where we have a singular hit, and it is awesome today. It took a bunch of people texting and tweeting at me yesterday. So we got the One Hit Wonder Wednesday today, among other things. And yes, we have more. I think we have another round of tickets to give away to the fair. So we'll be doing that as well. Reach out to us across all of our social media. It's Wednesday. So White Woman Wednesday. And remember, White Woman Wednesday is when progressive white women lecture us on stuff because that has to happen.
Yeah.
Right?
Because they know.
They know. And we have to understand we're putting in the work, and you guys need to do it too. If you miss any of the show, shame on you. Grab the podcast. A lot of stuff to get to, including how hot it's going to be, the Swamp Ass Report. I was listening and looking around the country. We're not the only ones that are going to be in need of the cold peas on the Grundle area.
Yes, sir.
That's for darn
About
sure.
100 million of us, 100 million Americans are going to need a bag of frozen peas downstairs.
Ooh, baby. If you're missing the show, shame on you. Grab the podcast. It is the Chad Benson Show. Super Talk 997. Rough Greens, ruffgreens.com. Vitamins, minerals, probiotics, omega-3, 6, 9, all this incredible stuff packed into an amazing supplement that you give your dog on a daily basis, and your dog will love it. I've been giving my dogs these for years, and I think of it, like an energy drink or something like that, your coffee in the morning. It's a great way for your dog to start their day. Just one scoop a day on their food. You watch their energy level. You watch the way that they start to move better, their shinier coat. They're going to be healthier, better immune system. It is incredible. It's a supplement that over 1 million dogs take, and your dog will love it. Try a Jumpstart trial bag now. It is a $20 value. You get it for free. All they ask you to do is cover the cost of shipping. Ruffgreens.com/Chad. RUFFgreens.com/Chad.
The killer of 4 Idaho University students is facing the victims' families. Hear what they're saying. Coming up at 12:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Tell you what, it's hot out there, and it's ugly, and it's nasty. Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of the day we find out how swampy it is.
Now it's time for the Swamp Ass News Report with the weather wizard, Ken Weaver.
All right,
90 degrees, the real temperature, boys, right now at BNA. The heat index, swamp ass meter's buzzing. It's 99.
Ooh.
So it's on the low level.
But it's early.
Yeah, it's kind of going like this. Pretty soon it'll be going like this. And pretty soon it'll be...
What are you feeling like it's going to get today?
If the humidity stays up like it is right now, 59%, and as that real temperature goes up, I mean, you know, I'm not a scientist, a weather scientist or anything like that, but that would tell me that we're definitely going to reach at least 105.
That's ugly.
Yeah, I mean, we're just at 90 right now, and the heat index is 9 degrees higher than that. We're at 59% humidity right now.
That's a gross thing. I mean, I go like 2 blocks. I got here, and I was like, I should start bringing a change of shirts. That's what I feel like. It's
you just need to get one of those lockers there in the break room, Brother Chad. Just have you change of clothes in there.
So be careful out there. That's what we're saying, guys. That's all we're saying. It's going to be hot. Make sure you drink a lot of water. Don't do anything crazy. Right? This isn't the day to go, you know what? I haven't drank any water for 3 days. I think I'm going to go out and mow my lawn.
Yeah.
Because you get people that do that. Just insane. Several people texting in. I didn't know this, but apparently in the 70s and 80s, going to night court on Friday night was quite a thing here in Nashville.
Well, from what I understand, that people do, like retirees will just hang out at courthouses and just watch. I got to say, man, I had a situation in Albuquerque where I was in a crash. It wasn't my fault, but I didn't have an up-to-date tag and that sort of thing, and so I had to, as long as I showed up to court once a month, after like 3 months, they were just going to waive everything. And there were some interesting cases that would go before me. There was a guy that was going around he was going around shoving boxes of frozen chicken in his sweatpants.
Okay, wait.
And they finally caught him.
They finally did? Was it on the news? Probably big on the news.
It wasn't on the news, but it was interesting to see people like that. And guess what?
What?
He showed up to court in sweatpants.
With chicken. I don't know where it came from. Isn't that hilarious, though, when people do that?
Oh, yeah.
The weirdest stuff. My buddy, love you, David. He's from England. He got into a fight, and it was totally ridiculous. He was drunk. We were at his wedding, but he got married, and so it was a stupid, like, we're at a bar, and he's talking to the guy. He doesn't know the guy next to him. He's talking to the guy, and they're BS and having a good time. The guy's buying him drinks because he got married and stuff, and this other guy picks a fight with that guy. My buddy Dave jumps in because he thinks, something's going on, doesn't know what's happening. So they arrest him, and he has to go to anger management classes. That's what they tell him. So they send him, but they don't have any. So they send him to kleptomania, like a klepto, like anonymous.
Yeah.
He goes, there are people in there. Because one lady's in there because she can't stop going to the store and grazing. She just eats snacks all day at the store. And another person, he was in there because his great theft was he stole 3 or 4 at Home Depot, those knobs for like doors, doorknobs.
Yes.
He stole them from the door. They were on display, and he stole them. And he's just like, what? What is wrong with you people?
Yeah, this guy, he was stealing banquet fried chicken.
Wow. I hope he was eating them.
Well, I guess he was. I can't remember if the judge asked him if it. I remember the judge asked one guy, was it worth it? And that guy said, yeah. And he said, well, How about if we just give you some time to think about that? And they whisked him off to jail.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what? Nowadays, you go in and steal. So my wife, she'll go to Ben and Jerry's over here, and there's a homeless guy my wife sees all the time, and she knows him. I forgot what his name is, but she'll say hi to him and stuff. And she goes, they're at Ben and Jerry's last Friday night. He walks into Ben and Jerry's. He walks right over to where the pints of ice cream are. He grabs one, he turns around, he walks out.
Boom, just like that.
And my wife goes, and they go, oh, he does it every week. And I'm just like, this is where we are now. This is where we are. A lot of stuff. It's One Hit Wonder Wednesday. We got a great One Hit Wonder today. We'll talk a little bit about.
Yeah, I'm looking some of those up right now, man.
Yeah, today's one. I got you guys covered in a mega way. You're gonna love this.
Okay.
Because it was timing. Dude only had one hit, and he could never even come close to recapturing it. But it's because it's about timing. It is. It's about timing. So we got some Trump stuff as well, a bunch of other goodies to get to. Reach out to us across all of our social media. Love hearing from you. Got some of your text messages as you guys talk about some hilarious stuff. Oh, all new from Banquet, sweatpants chicken dinner. That's what one person said.
Swamp ass chicken dinner.
So Ken, we may have to go down. Several people have said night court is fun. We may have to go down just for fun. We may do that. Who knows? And if you've been in night court, let us know about your night court experience.
Absolutely.
Because you know what? That's what we do here. This is Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.
$12:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Again, we've got the real temperature of 90 degrees in Nashville, but the heat index makes it feel like 99. Looks like it could go as high as 108 today. Not sure we're going to get any of those relieving showers and thunderstorms today either. It doesn't look like there's even a chance for that. Got the full forecast in 5 minutes.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Michelle Franzen. Pain and anguish inside a Boise courtroom as the two survivors and families of the 4 University of Idaho students murdered in 2022 address confessed killer Brian Kohberger. Survivor Dylan Mortensen says she has panic attacks from the stabbing murders inside their off-campus home and directed her anger to Kohberger sitting emotionless.
He took away birthdays, graduations, celebrations, and all the memories that we were supposed to make. All of it is gone.
Scott Laramie, stepfather to Madison Mogan, says they will feel the loss forever.
It helps us to know Maddie is in heaven now, freed from the trials of this earth. We, however, continue to live on without the grace and support of her presence.
Kohberger struck a deal with prosecutors that spares him the death penalty, agreeing to 4 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole. This is ABC News.
As members of the U.S. House prepare to spend the next 6 weeks at home in their districts, Speaker Mike Johnson's defending his decision to not call a vote during urging the release of the Jeffrey Epstein files. Here's Stephen Portnoy.
The Speaker pushes back on the idea that the House is standing in the way of the files' release.
No one in Congress is blocking Epstein documents.
As the Justice Department now seeks the unsealing of grand jury material, Mike Johnson stresses the need for careful disclosures.
The courts, law enforcement, and government agencies have to protect the innocent.
With fellow Republicans saying imprisoned Epstein co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell should be called to testify before a House panel, Johnson now raises questions about her credibility.
Can we trust what she's going to say?
Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Beacon Capital Management, your retirement ready toolkit is ready. You don't want to outlive your retirement. Right? You don't want to be one of those things where you're like, oh, my God, it's going away. And you also don't want to be in a situation where you don't have everything handled. Taxes, life insurance. Let's not forget also about things like long-term care and estate planning, things like that. That's why Beacon wants to be your full-service investment advisor. So whether you got fear of taxes, fear of running out of money, let Beacon handle all of the heavy lifting for you. They're local. You can sit down with them. They're going to send you out a retirement-ready toolkit today. No cost, no obligation. Just a quick phone call. They'll get it out to you. That's it. Call 615-488-9303. 615-488-9303. Inside of the Retirement Ready Toolkit, you're going to get things like the Money Enough for Life book, retirement planning checklist, and a maximizing retirement income white paper. There are so many more things besides just dollars and cents, which do matter when it comes to your retirement. So call Beacon today and find out what they can do for you. 615-488-9303 or online at AskBeaconNow.com. Well, hey there, mister. A lot of you texting in. Night Court. Night Court was better before there was bulletproof glass everywhere.
Yeah, that ruined everything.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, that did. That ruined. When they put bulletproof glass in, you know you're probably not dealing with a solid area. I went to this was the craziest, Lakewood, California. I went to a Kentucky Fried Chicken. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
They had been robbed so many times that they moved to the place next door that used to be a bank. So you would order, and then the food would come up like almost an elevator, and you would get it because they'd been robbed through the drive-thru so much. That's the kind of solid area that was.
Yes, sir.
Oh, my Lord. It is Wednesday. We have a lot of fun on Wednesday. We call it One Hit Wonder Wednesday, and this is where we break out a song that's awesome, a song that at a moment in time captured something. Could be a songwriter, could be something lucky. Sometimes it's a band, sometimes it's just a dude. It is One Hit Wonder Wednesday.
Now it's time for another edition of One Hit Wonder Wednesday. You may not remember the name of the band, but you definitely know the song.
Come, my lady, come, my lady, you're my butterfly.
This is One Hit Wonder Wednesday.
So today, in One Hit Wonder Wednesday, I take us back in time. The year 1974. At the time, disco was rocketing, and a guy needed a B-side, and he didn't have it. So in 10 minutes, he wrote a song about something that he was really getting into, because his A-side was going to be the big hit. His A-side was going to be the thing that was going to make everything for him. But he said, okay, what am I interested in? Well, I like disco. Oh, and you know what else I like? I like kung fu.
Yes, sir.
And he went on that because the craze was massive back in 1974. His name was Carl Douglas. It sold 11 million copies.
Wow.
He never came anywhere close to doing it. He recorded it once, wrote it, and sang it within 10 minutes. We all know it. It's like one of those songs you hear, you know exactly what's about to come.
Yes, sir.
Not politically correct, by the way, in today's world. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Carl Douglas.
Everybody was kung fu fighting. Those kids were fast as lightning. In fact, it was a little bit frightening. But they fought with expert timing.
Oh,
Reminds me of the swimming pool.
that's right, man.
My friends and I, man, we would catch this van over to the Boys Club of America. Had a big pool out there. And they would pipe music from the radio station, man. I mean, this was on every day we were there.
So Carl Douglas was born in Jamaica, moved to London, and he was really into Bruce Lee movies, like big time, as everybody was in the 70s.
Sure.
I mean, Bruce Lee was everywhere.
He was the man.
He was the man, by the way, born in San Francisco, California. It went number one in the U.S., UK, Australia. 11 million copies sold as a single. One of the biggest selling singles of all time. Never, ever again came close to ever even looking at the top 100. And to this day, he says, you know what? It's a fun song.
Absolutely.
And the cultural impact of it, a lot of people he says some stuff about, Funky Chinaman and stuff like that.
Can't do that today.
No, you can't. It's like even when I watch my Westerns, right? They have these now disclaimers, like there's going to be some stuff they're going to say about Indians that you're not going to like.
Right.
And I'm like, you know what? Get over yourselves, okay? We know that. I'm watching a Western. I know how things were back then. And anyways, who ends up dying in every movie? It's always a bunch of white guys getting shot.
And in this song, I mean, it wasn't meant to be derogatory.
No. He said that over and over. He's still alive. He's 83, and he talks about it. It was meant as because the craze was so big.
Oh yeah,
I remember a little bit of the craze. I remember watching the kung fu movies on Saturday and stuff with my dad. But my dad used to tell me there was kung fu guys used to wear the kung fu outfits just out.
Oh yeah,
it was crazy. They all dressed like it was Karate Kid.
And you didn't mess with them either.
No, you didn't.
Because they might actually know kung fu.
That's right. He tried one other time to do a follow-up called Dance the Kung Fu. Didn't really work out.
But he's still alive, huh?
Still alive, still making
cool.
money off of it. It's been in over 100 movies and TV commercials. From Beverly Hills Ninja to Kung Fu Panda. And it is considered one of the defining songs of the disco era. Carl Douglas with Kung Fu Fighting, your one-hit wonder Wednesday. What you got for me, man?
Well, I was going to say one more thing on Carl Douglas. I love the use of the jazz flute in that song.
Oh, completely.
I mean, he is all over that jazz flute.
He knows, but he knew what he was doing. He didn't. He had no idea. They said they did it in like 10 minutes, and he didn't even know what it was going to sound like. They added music behind it later on. No idea.
All right, my one-hit wonder goes back to 1997.
Ooh, way back in the day.
Now, it was brought back in 2023 for a blockbuster movie soundtrack.
Do tell.
But here it is. The Danish-Norwegian Euro dance band Aqua with their 1997 hit single,
I'm a Barbie Girl.
Yes, sir, if it will play.
In a Barbie world.
Terrible song.
Absolutely. Come on, Barbie. Let's go party.
They sold an estimated 33 million albums and singles.
My goodness. Well, you know what's funny is stuff that we listen to that we like these one-hit wonders. Some of them, because we'll do Dexy's Midnight Runners,
that song.
We'll do some of those things. But some of these bands, like Aqua had several hits in Europe.
Yes.
But they only had one big hit worldwide.
Right.
And if they go on stage, trust me, you're not going to an Aqua concert first of all, you're not going, but secondly, you're not going there to see them sing something in their deep cuts.
No. But this song, man, it helped them sell a lot of albums.
Yeah.
33 million. That's not bad.
That's not bad.
I mean, they're probably living their best life.
They're probably doing all right. Everybody's all roller disco. People talking about, the amazing Carl Douglas. And
oh, yeah,
Fighting.
man.
And Aqua, that was huge when Barbie came back out.
Oh, yes. They put it right there on the soundtrack.
Come on, Barbie. Let's go party. Here's the thing. Carl's never getting this back, right? Like Barbie they'll bring him out for stuff and the 20th anniversary and stuff. They'll bring that out. Oh, do you remember this? You're never bringing Carl out because it's offensive now.
Yeah. They won't play it.
No, which sucks because it's hilarious.
It's a great song.
It is. I mean, and
it captures a great time.
I know. And then, with all the stuff going on with China.
Don't trust China.
I don't, sir. And I won't. Tell you that right now. Those are your one-hit wonder. See, I would ask you, Louie, if you had a one-hit wonder, but you're so young. What one-hit wonder could you have?
Shadina, Classic Man.
Play it, dude.
Classic Man. Who? Wait, that sounds
I got to
familiar.
hear this.
That does sound familiar. Classic Man. Shadina.
Louie's got like 1,000 buttons in there, man.
He does. It's like, this is why.
I mean, it's easy for you and me.
Yeah. I got a button to push. Shadina, Classic Man. Oh, I've heard this song.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't heard another song from him.
No.
What year is this, Louis?
This is 2015, I think.
2015.
10 years, gone. I remember this. Gone. Never gonna hear from him again.
That's pretty good beat.
Classic Man. That is awesome. See, we all have it.
I tell you about a one-hit wonder, man, on the R&B is this dude, the guy who did Return of the Mac.
Oh,
have you...
Mark. Oh God, was it Mark?
I don't know. But have you seen how many views on he's like got like 1 billion.
Yeah, he is Return of the Mac, Mark Morrison.
Mark Morrison.
So I was in England when that song came out, and it was big, and you're like, this guy's going to be something. And then that was it. Nobody ever heard from him again. But his song is everywhere.
Yes.
On TikTok and Return of the Mac. Yeah,
there's even he's got him on commercials.
Yeah.
So he's probably living his best life too off this one hit.
You just need that. You need that one hit. Now, Christmas is the perfect time. Oh, wow. I love the video, too.
Yeah, the video's great, dude.
He's got a big fur coat on.
Well, and it's back when the R&B bands, man, they had the dancers behind them.
Yeah.
With the high top fades. I mean, this thing has got hundreds of millions of hits.
That's
on YouTube.
And he's getting paid.
And he's getting paid.
He's getting paid. That's what it's all about. You lied to me. Yes, I tried. Yes, I tried. You lied to me. Even though you knew I died for you.
Love it. Here it comes.
Yes, I cried. Yes, I cried. Return of the man. Return of the man. Come on. Return.
I love that part where he said, come on.
Oh, see, guys? This is what life's about. We talk a little politics, talk a little crazy stuff about Idaho, and then one-hit wonder. Why? Because that's what life's all about.
Now, these dudes better be careful if they run around an MRI machine, dude, because they got 20-pound chains on their necks.
Woo! He was rocking the fade, and he had his cane because he just, he came back and his girlfriend, she is with somebody else. And he
lied to him.
And he's like, you lied to me because I'm the Mac. You know what I mean?
That's right.
That's right. And you know what I say?
Don't trust China.
That's exactly it. Don't do it.
Man, I mean, this guy, he did that one song, dude, and I mean, he's set.
Yeah. That is, and I'm just going to say this. Because my buddy, so the guy who produces my national show, Phil and I have joked for years, we just need one Christmas hit. Because you want something that you can wrap around.
You got it. Yes, sir.
Every year. Because you don't roll out, all I want for Christmas is until November. But for 6 to 8 weeks, you're getting paid. But it happens every year. If you have a summertime smash, it's great this summer, but next summer there's going to be 10 other ones. And yours isn't going to be played for a while. That's why you need a hit that we can wrap around a holiday. And it's got to be, you could do Halloween, you can do Christmas. There's nothing else, really. I mean, there isn't.
No, there's no Thanksgiving songs.
No, you don't sing songs about like a turkey. And there's nothing about that. Gobble, 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 gobble. Who likes a turkey? Gobble, gobble. Yeah, gobbly-goo. I like turkeys. They're the coolest. And then the pilgrims came and they were gobble, gobble, gobble. And then they went to the Indians and they said, Indians, gobble, 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 gobble. We don't know what we're doing and we're going to die. Oh, my Lord. Oh, so there's so many awesome one-hit wonders, though. And I love the stories behind them because you think, ooh, what's that all about? Like with, it was a B-side. A B-side. Somebody said, what was the A-side? He wrote a ballad. Carl Douglas wrote a ballad.
That's the B-side of Kung Fu
It was
Fighting?
the A-side. That was supposed to be their single.
Oh.
And then they released the other one on accident. So somebody says, look up Gobble Gobble Me.
Gobble Gobble Me.
Yeah. So they're it's my Thanksgiving song, by the way, is fantastic. So you guys just heard it. It's going to be awesome. We're going to get rocking and rolling. I got that's why Belle's not here this week. We got King Louie because Belle is writing the music to our Thanksgiving opera.
Doing.
Yeah, when Louis hears it hit different.
Yeah. See, urban word of the day. We're going to be doing that straight ahead. If you miss any of the show, we always say shame on you for a reason because you should grab the podcast. We're fun. Shame. And always remember this. If you take nothing away from this show outside of the fun stuff,
Don't trust China.
always remember that. It is the Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. Raycon, best earbuds around. Love my Raycon. Wear them all the time. Fit, feel, comfort, second to none. You guys hear me talk about that. The originals, the E25s, the classics, are back. And now they've got all the features that the everyday earbuds have had. And these things are amazing. The fit, the comfort level is incredible. The look is awesome. Weather and sweat resistance, because especially out here, with how bad it is out here, these things are amazing. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to grab a pair of Raycons. They're 20% off. Sound quality, so easy to maneuver through the different things. They've got isolation mode, which is awesome. If you just want to isolate on something, just listen to it. They got awareness mode. You can go in and out. The bass, the feel, the comfort level, all second to none. But now they've got active noise cancellation at about half the price of any other premium audio brands. 20% off right now, free shipping, and a 30-day happiness guarantee. Go to buyraycon.com/Chad now. That's buyraycon.com/Chad for the best earbuds around. The E25s, the classic, they're back. Buyraycon.com/Chad. Hey, I want to talk to you guys about something. Guys, gals, you work out and you're trying to lose that inches, that thing, that spare tire, the fupa, the thing you just can't get rid of, and you're eating better and you're doing everything. I'm doing all the sit-ups yet I can. There's a reason for that. At some point in time, you got to say, all right, maybe I'm beaten, but you're not, because our good friends at Contours. You want to fit better in your outfits. You want to look better. You want to lose inches. Contours is going to help you do it. And you don't have to do anything but relax. The inches will melt off. Right now, $99. First treatment, you're guaranteed to lose 2 inches or you don't pay a thing. And it is so simple and easy. I'm telling you guys right now, I'm feeling better. I'm fitting better in my outfits. It is amazing. Call them and go, hey, Chad told me to call you. I am sick and tired of doing everything I possibly can and not losing the weight. Doesn't matter if you're a man or woman. They want to talk to you because they're going to get you thinner and looking great. 615-236-9960, 615-236-9960, or online at contoursllc.com.
All right, drivers, got a crash. It is blocking the left 2 lanes of 440 eastbound right before 65, and it is really backing things up there. Also, the left lane is blocked by a crash. This will be 24 eastbound at Murfreesboro Pike. Idaho killer Brian Koberger sitting with a blank stare as his victims' families get their say. You can hear that coming up at 1 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
It's that portion of the program where we teach you guys a little something because we're learning as well. The young group of Americans are out there. They're using words, slang like we used to, cool and groovy and daddy-o. But it's different because, A, I'm not that old, and B, because, we evolve. Things change. They've got their own lingo, and we're here to help you with that. It's the urban word of the day.
Now it's time for the urban word of the day. The young have a vocabulary all their own, and we break it down for you. It's called the urban word of the day.
All right, today's urban word, and again, you're outside, you're hanging out, your grandkids, your kids, they throw something out there. You're like, I've never heard that before. Beige flag. Beige flag is the urban word.
Beige flag.
So, you got red flags with somebody, right? Got the green flag, all that stuff, that's like, beige flag is, kind of boring. Right?
So basic.
You go out on the date with somebody and you're like,
beige.
He didn't excite me. He alphabetized all of his books. He talked to me about his gaming. There's nothing about him that says he's not awful, but he's not all that. It's beige, right? It's like the house beige. That's when you give up in life.
Alphabetized all of his books.
That's right. So, and you don't want to be that person. So if you hear somebody going, it's a beige flag day, meaning there's nothing going on, it's boring. That's your urban word of the day.
That was the urban word of the day. Now you know.
We love teaching you guys. You don't want things to be beige. Trust me on that.
I got to ask my son about that when I get home.
By the way, we were talking earlier, and I said something about Ben and Jerry's and Ray, who texts us every day. He's like, you eat there, figures? And I'm like, my wife goes and picks up ice cream, but they're liberal. Who cares? The ice cream's good.
Yeah, they got good ice cream.
I don't know who makes my pizza.
Well, Chad, you need to figure that out,
No,
man.
I
you
mean,
need to go in there.
Who cares?
Who'd you vote for?
Yeah, that's the guy behind the counter. Yeah, the guy making your pizza. He voted for Kamala. No way. Yep, I can't eat his pizza. Who cares? I don't care. I don't.
Looks like they were pretty liberal with the cheese here.
Maybe they were conservative with the pepperoni. What do you think of those apples, kids? It doesn't matter to me. Because if we're going to do that, we're never going to have Coke. We're never going to have Pepsi. You're never going to have anything. You're going to walk around going, I don't know what to. Because you also don't know what what if you go to a restaurant and the person serving you maybe voted for, oh my goodness. What if you go to the gas station and you find out the gas station there, that person, oh jeez. Don't take it so seriously. You trust me. It'll be better for your health. I promise you that. And the ice cream's good.
It is pretty good ice cream.
It is. And they do. My wife loves it, right? I prefer to go to the Baked Bear across the street. I don't know their political stance.
Well, you need to find out, brother Chad.
I do. Otherwise, it's no. But I prefer to go there. But not that I don't like Ben & Jerry's, because I just get vanilla. But my wife likes it, Ben & Jerry's, because they have like 900 flavors you don't get anywhere else. That's why. Okay? So everybody just, your wackiness. Coming up. Hour number 2 of the program. More on Koberger, who was sentenced today to forever in jail. The family's giving their FU to him and his bizarre just stare. We'll talk about that. We got some Obama stuff. We got some Trump stuff. We got a bunch of stuff as well. It's Chad Benson, Super Talk 99.7.
1 o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Looking for a heat index today upwards of 108 degrees. As of right now, we're sitting at a real temperature of 91, and the heat index is 100. Full forecast coming up in 5 minutes.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Michelle Franzen. Emotions are running high in a Boise courtroom as families of 4 University of Idaho stabbing murders and survivors offer victim impact statements, directing their pain and anger at confessed killer Brian Kohberger, sitting in court and showing no emotion. Kohberger will receive 4 consecutive life sentences after making a plea deal with prosecutors, sparing him the death penalty. ABC's Alex Stone is outside court.
Two different kind of moods depending on who's been speaking. The Consalves family very much going after him and saying that you are a weak man, that you are pathetic, what it's going to be like in prison for him, and that they hope that he is hurt by other inmates or even killed by other inmates, compared to others who have spoken who have been very emotional, including their roommate, Dylan Mortensen, who she talked about those moments and the loss that she has experienced over the years.
Kohberger declined to address the court before the judge sentences him. This is ABC News.
Well, one of the 2 doctors among 5 people accused in the drug overdose death of Matthew Perry changed his plea at a hearing in Los Angeles today,
saying he's profoundly remorseful for providing ketamine to Matthew Perry and fully accepting responsibility by pleading guilty to drug distribution. Dr. Salvador Plasencia. That in a statement released through his attorney. He faces a maximum of 40 years in prison and a $2 million fine. Sentencing was set for December 3rd, and Plasencia remains out on bail till then.
That's Chuck Stevenson reporting. Uber rolling out a new feature for riders and drivers that the company says will make their rideshare experience safer. Here's ABC's Becky Warlick.
Women riders can choose to have a female driver. Also, female Uber drivers can set a preference for booking women riders. It'll debut in San Francisco, Los Angeles, and Detroit in a few weeks. And if successful, they hope to expand this nationwide.
Now, you might have to wait a longer time if you want that option. Tennessee 2nd District Congressman Tim Burchett successfully offering a motion directing the House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform to issue a subpoena compelling Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein's former madam, to appear for a deposition. Burchett telling WTN's Dan Mandis this morning he expects action from Oversight Chairman James Comer.
He will put it forward, and the way I understand it is now we have to work it out with the federal authorities. I understand Ms. Maxwell is in the middle of an appeal process, and her safety, of course, is of concern, getting her in and out. And it might be better if we just go interview her behind bars.
It's expected the committee will ask Maxwell about a so-called client list, among other things. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Apparently, the Ben & Jerry's comment has caused a kerfuffle. I was unaware that Ben & Jerry's was so dangerous. They're liberals. I don't care. It's ice cream. I don't care where it's from. We have to stop living our lives in this way. We do. It's not healthy, first of all. Let's say that's not healthy. You know, I was talking last night about, Ozzy Osbourne. I don't even know how much he cared about politics one way or another. But when you go to a sporting event, when you go to when you go to any of these things, sporting event, college pros, when you go to a music festival or a concert, you're next to somebody, you're cheering, you're enjoying something. It doesn't matter what the person next to you believes or cares about. It doesn't matter about any of that stuff. You're there because something brought you guys there and you have a commonality. And we need more of that in this country. We need less division and more commonality. I'm watching, the Ozzy's final. I was watching some of his final show. And, you got people that are in their 70s and 80s and they got tears in their eyes. Yeah. And then you've got 12 and 13-year-olds who are singing Mama, I'm Coming Home. And it was, generational. But how many of those people, they went and saw him. It was at Villa Park in England, Birmingham, close to where he's from. They're right, they're left, they're all of it. It didn't matter. They were there to celebrate somebody and something that gave them great joy. And we just, it's like, I mentioned ice cream, and I'm like, you went to Ben & Jerry's because you're a flaming communist. I'm like, because I ate ice cream? No, not because I ate ice cream. We all just need to breathe a little bit. I don't know what it is. Think about, and I thought about this the other day. In today's climate, I don't think we could. After 9/11, for a while, we were America. We weren't right, left. We were red, white, and blue.
Yep, we were one.
I think in today's world, that'd never happen.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good question, man.
I don't know if it could happen. I don't know if it could. I mean, you're going to find people out there that are flamethrowers and going to say ridiculous thing online. And we're going to actually talk about that in a little bit. But I don't know if we could do that again. I mean, you remember the flags you saw everywhere? People were nicer. They said hi. There was something about afterwards where it wasn't Republicans, Democrats, conservative, liberals. It was just, we need to heal as a nation. We need to come together and we need to find out who did this. And there was a moment, where you're thinking to yourself, man, we're never getting back to that. I don't think a tragedy would do that like that. I don't think an attack would do that. It would have to, just because. Now, I think you get a lot of the pundits and a lot of the people and the powers that be and the politicians to put away some of their rhetoric for a while. But I think as a nation, especially with the online insanity, I think that'd be tough. Hey, what did Tim Burchett say? Did he say something about kissing ass? He's not good at that?
Yeah, let's see here. Let me go back to this. Yeah, he said so. So this is Congressman Tim Burchett speaking on Speaker Mike Johnson's decision to send the House home early for summer recess rather than vote on releasing Epstein files. And this is what Congressman Burchett told WTN's Dan Mandis this morning.
I think it's a bad look, of course. I say we vote it and let's get going. But I'm not in leadership, and I never will be in leadership because, once again, I don't raise the money and I don't kiss enough butt.
That's all it is.
He doesn't kiss enough butt.
No, I mean that is all it is. The Speaker of the House. One of the reasons Kevin McCarthy stuck around for so long is because his money raising abilities were insane.
Oh yeah.
First of all, it's the most thankless job. Especially if you've got a 40-seat lead, it's way easier than when you've got 2 or 3 and you've got a fractured party.
Well, and now it's even slimmer with Mark Green.
Yeah, with Mark Green gone. Now what is it, 1?
It's 219 to 212 with 4 open seats. And then you've got, you got the fiscal hawks
Yeah.
on the GOP side. There's like, what, 5 or 6 of them?
Mm-hmm.
So it's even.
And then that's why Trump is on Governor Abbott in Texas to redraw the districts. So they call that special session. Originally, the special session was supposed to be about the hemp CBD thing because he vetoed it at the last minute.
Yeah.
And then it was going to be about flood relief and what happened because before the session started, that happened. And then Trump made a call and said, you better figure out a way because you can redistrict and get another 4 or 5 seats. And Abbott was like, okay. He didn't. I don't think he wanted to. If you've ever seen, and everybody's like, what's redistricting is gerrymandering. It just depends on what side of the street you're on.
But yeah, both sides do it.
Yeah. If you're on this side of the street and you don't like the way the district's drawn, it's gerrymandering. If you're on this side of the street and you think it's good, it's redistricting.
Yeah.
And some of them, is that that's the description of it?
That's pretty good.
Some of the districts and the way they draw them, it'll be like, all right, this 12 blocks is yours. Then we skip 4 blocks, and then this park and this area is also yours. What? Because they're trying to squeeze as much as they can. And then, what's his name? Gavin Newsom came out and said, well, if you're going to do that, we're going to do it. And then Slotkin from Michigan came out and said, you know what? If they can't do it in Michigan, because Michigan put in a constitutional change to on their state, that there's a group that meets, bipartisan group that meets, that's independent outside of politicians to make sure the districts are right, because they didn't want that. And they said, no, this is too much, because it got to the point where it was just so awful. And it's, but that's how close this is. That's how worried the likes of the Trump is, that, because the midterms, we tend to kind of say, oh, you guys have too much power. We're going to give some of that back to the other side. So Trump's like, go see if you can drop four new seats.
Nip it in the bud.
Nip it in the bud. Oh, so yeah, that is close. And if you're the Speaker of the House, Johnson, you have to go over and you try to make everybody happy. And when one group doesn't get what they want, their people are like, Johnson should be fired. And then Johnson goes over and he talks to this group and he's like, we'll give you guys that. And then that other group's like, nope, Johnson should stay now. You can't, when you don't have a massive lead seat-wise, you're going to face this over and over again. So we'll see what it looks like. But they're virtually down to about 1 with the fiscal hawks. Man, Burchett, it's not a good look. I mean, we could sit here and talk about Obama and stuff, but the going home and sending everybody home today and not voting on that, not trying to figure out something, and then saying you shouldn't care about that thing from the past, you should care about this thing from the past. You know what? Republicans, Democrats, Americans, we can walk and chew gum. We can do 2 things at once. We could look and make sure, okay, what did Obama do? What did they do? What did this administration do? Let's see what it is. And on the other side, we could look over there and say, what happened here? Who was involved? It doesn't have to be either or. And I don't think it's going to go away when they come back in September. You guys still thinking about that? Yeah, they're still thinking about it. And I've read it, because I read all day, which is a shocker, I know. Several people that I follow say that the MAGA hardcore, the ones who this was a big deal to them, they're going to start showing up at town halls. Burchett just had one. But he did it on the phone.
Yeah, a lot of them do it on the phone now. Well, and a lot of that too is you have some paid actors who show up and just shout you down.
Yeah, that's true. I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Just have the conversation.
And nobody does. Nobody does. And nobody has the conversation because people are so invested and they've made politics their ideology that and that's who you now identify as. That is your identity. And, it's not, right? Like being a vegan is not a personality trait. It's just something you are.
Mm-hmm.
You know who you are. Same thing with CrossFit people. All right, we get you. By the way, if you ever met a CrossFit vegan, no chance. That's the worst person on earth. But when you make it your identity, everything becomes personal if you don't like what you hear.
Right.
So if you go and somebody contradicts what you're saying, your first response is to lash out, to say something horrible to somebody because you're defending, in theory, yourself. And that's why people can't have conversations. And on the other side, and we're going to get into a little bit, because I watched this. Do you know who Jubilee is?
No.
So Jubilee is a big, I think Twitch is his jam.
Okay.
But he's big. He's like one of those ones where, several million people.
Oh, okay.
Super progressive. But he has this thing where, and you've probably seen bits and pieces of it. They bring somebody into a room and he's going to debate 20 whatever. And so Jordan Peterson, I think Charlie Kirk was there. I think they had, several other people. And they sit in this table and there's 20 people around them. And then they rush and whoever gets to the seat gets to debate the person. And there was one the other night that was so insane. And so it was cringe. And I sit there and I think, is that what we've become? It's like we're just cringe. Because why? Because everybody lives in a world of identity, which I can't do. My identity is me. That's who I am.
I'm me.
That's it, man. That's all we need. I have a tough time being that. I don't need to be anything else, right? I am, people ask me what I do. I'm like, I'm a dad, I got a wife, kids, good life.
Yeah.
That's it. I do this for a living. I have fun. Sally says, I identify as an old, fat, bald man who likes beer.
Sally.
Good for you, Sally. Good for you. Good for you. That's what you identify. I want to get to that point.
Yeah.
But I don't drink beer. But I'm on my way to the other ones. Thank you, donuts. Oh, transfit vegan. Oh, that, yeah. Oh. The vegan people, those are the people where identity matters.
Yes.
They're insufferable. It's like,
some of them like to tell you.
They've been known to tell you that they have never consumed animal product this century.
Right.
I've never had. I don't care.
Like it's not enough just to order. They got to tell you.
Are you going to eat meat? I am. I'm here to. You know what it is? It's
Yes.
it's about balance.
Yes,
Right. I'm balancing you. We're getting to net zero when it comes to food, but you know what? At the rate beef is going up, it is insane. Beef is the new eggs.
Yeah.
And you and I have talked about it. We could sit here, you could talk about Obama, you could talk about Epstein, you could talk about all those things. You know what's going to decide next year? Where the economy is.
Prices and how much money I've got left over to spend every 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. And if life is more expensive, if unemployment's gone up and the world's gotten tougher to make a living and to keep up, guess what happens? People make changes and they'll look to blame somebody. And who's ever in power will get that blame. Even if he solves every problem outside of the U.S., that is the only thing that needs to be done here. And it doesn't matter what party it is. It's always been that way. It will always be that way. Always. Coming up, a lot of stuff we're still going to try to squeeze into on this beautiful Wednesday. Find out what the weather's like. A little Swamp Ash report coming up as well. Colbert, people are still out there fighting the Colbert fight. But I'm going to tell you something that him screaming and yelling about it's this or it's that, and all of the people out there still trying to defend that they shouldn't have fired him because it's only because of Trump. You're fooling yourself based on what happened yesterday. We'll talk about that as well. If you missed any show, grab the podcast. Chad Benson, Super Talk 997. Birch Gold. That's Birch Gold. Awesome. Right now, text the word Benson to 989898. Gold's made a 40% plus move in the last 12 months. There is rumblings out there, BRICS nations trying to get off back onto some sort of standard that isn't the dollar, because they're just done with the dollar. It's dollar's evil, the 80 years of that, and they would love to see it crash. Well, you need to protect yourself. And with big institutions and banks, where do they put their money? Smart money right now. They're moving it into areas where they can diversify. Gold is it. So be smart. Find out What's going on out there? What can precious metals do for you? What can birch do for you? A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. Text the word Benson to 989898 today. They're who I go to when, and I've got precious metals, some I've always done. And it's a smart thing to do to arm yourself with information, make the right decision for you and your family, whether you got a 401k, IRA, and you think, can I move it over? Or you just want to have the physical. Birch can help you. Text the word Benson now to 989898 for Birch Gold.
All right, drivers in Berry Hill, we still have the left 2 lanes blocked, 440 eastbound before 65. I got a crash there. And then a crash blocking the left lane, 24 eastbound at Murfreesboro Pike. Brain-eating amoeba claims the life of a patient in South Carolina. This story and more at 1:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Oh, my God. What is that? A brain-eating amoeba?
Brain-eating amoeba.
It feels like somebody went into a pond.
Yes.
And was having some fun.
You can definitely...
it's like, it's summertime fun. And they're in their shorts, and they go out there, and they're having a good time, and they're cutting. The next thing you know, they're in the hospital, and you're like, uh-oh.
Yeah, you can find brain-eating amoeba in a pond this time of year.
By the way, breaking news. The grand jury files going to remain sealed for Ghislaine Maxwell and Epstein.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that's what the judge said. The judge goes, no.
We're not releasing those.
Yeah, like who? What? I would love to see a judge do that. Who? Why are we here?
Yeah. Which judge wants to find himself 6 feet under?
Yeah, yeah. Why? And why are we here? Because there's no reason for this. There's like no precedent for this. There's no secrets in there, state secrets, no, ticking time bombs for somebody that, if we don't open them, somebody's going to die. It's none of that stuff. So there you go. No files being... see, here's the deal. Files were sitting on her desk. And did you hear about, like, all the porn and stuff?
Mm-mm.
She kind of came out and clarified it. It wasn't really it wasn't kids. It was just weird adult stuff. Now is what you're hearing. So the stories change on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
It's not good. It's not. So that will not be happening, according to the grand jury. Colbert, as we know, is fired, and he's come out and he said for the next 10 months he's going to let everybody know how he feels about Trump. I wonder what that's going to be like. Wouldn't it be great if he comes out and he goes, guys, I've been messing. I love him. He's been like the dude. You know, this is what I had to do. Now that I know I'm not coming back, I should be able to say all this stuff. He's not going to do that.
Man, I'm just worried about, how he's going to move forward from this, man.
I don't know.
What, he get $50 million, as the departing fee?
Yeah. Little parting gift. Thank you so much.
I'm so worried about him.
And when everybody talks about, well, it's wrong, it's the timing, it's all these things, it's a money decision.
Yeah.
And if you don't think they have money, you're fooling yourself, because Paramount signed South Park yesterday. South Park, who, by the way, goes after Trump all the time in hilarious ways. And they've got Mr. Garrison.
Mr. Garrison.
Yeah. Who, do you remember when he became president? He became president of the United States and he was doing what Trump was doing, just saying the craziest stuff and all that stuff. And he didn't think he was going to win. He's like, what? I won? They go after him all the time. But you know what? They make money. At the end of the day, it's a money business.
CBS found whenever he popped off about that lawsuit, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. That's what gave CBS the off-ramp to get rid of it.
Yeah.
They said, okay, boom.
And the fifth, did you hear his joke last night? I think it was, he said, well, 40 million, or I don't know how we're losing 40 million. I mean, 24 million I could see. I don't know where the other 16 million went, talking about the lawsuit. And he's going to hammer CBS too.
Oh, sure.
Why not? But it's a money thing. You have 200 people on your staff. 200 people. That is, even amongst other late night shows, is insane. I couldn't even, 200. How many writers do you need? I have no idea. But
That's
it's about the money.
A lot of people for one show.
For one show. I mean, even my buddy who works, he's a first director. He works in television. He's like, dude, I work on regular television shows that don't have 200 people on it, let alone a late night show that shoots the same place every day. Like, I have no idea. But you go and look at South Park, who also makes fun of Trump. They got $1.5 billion. And here's how the landscape has changed. The original contract was going to be closer to $3 billion for 10 years, but Skydance wanted them signed, and they wanted this lawsuit to be done. And Skydance said, yeah, let's do 5 years only, because we don't know what media is going to look like in 5 years, and everything could change by then. That's how fast things are moving. But they got $1.5 billion. And yes, they poke fun at Trump, and guess what? They're not going anywhere because they make money. And if he was making $50 or $100 million a year, they would never have let him go. Because he is the horse and buggy, and the new media world is the combustible engine. And it just drove by. Ooh. Coming up, some stuff to get to. I want to talk about this crazy lunacy that took place the other night, and this wacky debate thing. And just how we got to a point now where I think, honestly, people are going out of the way to do things to get noticed. And it's sad, actually. It's sad that we're in this position. We'll talk about that, among other things. If you're missing the show, we always say, shame on you, grab the podcast. Chad Benson, Super Talk 99.7.
1:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Again, drivers, we got a big backup if you're going eastbound on 440. The left two lanes are blocked right before 65 by a crash. And then 24 eastbound at Murfreesboro Pike, you've got the left lane blocked by a crash. And, of course, we have all the heat and humidity today. Heat index expected to reach at least 108 degrees today. Right now, the real temperature is 91. Heat index is 100 in Nashville. Full forecast in 5 minutes. And as you just heard Chad say, a U.S. judge has rejected a bid to unseal Jeffrey Epstein's grand jury transcripts from the Florida investigation. We'll be breaking that down throughout the day. Brian Koberger is going to spend the rest of his life in prison, sentenced to 4 consecutive life terms without parole for the murders of University of Idaho students Kaylee Gonclaves, Madison Mogan, Xana Gernodal, and Ethan Chapin. Olivia Conclaves is the sister of Kaylee. She had sharp words for the killer.
The scariest part about you is how painfully average you turned out to be. The truth is, you're as dumb as they come. Stupid, clumsy, slow, sloppy, weak, dirty.
This sentence resulted from a plea deal in which Koberger admitted guilt to avoid a potential death sentence. One of the 2 doctors among 5 people accused in the drug overdose death of Matthew Perry changed his plea at a hearing in Los Angeles today.
Through his attorney, Dr. Salvador Plasencia, releasing a statement saying he's profoundly remorseful for the treatment decisions he made while providing ketamine to Matthew Perry, and says he's fully accepting responsibility by pleading guilty to drug distribution. Plasencia also saying that he intends to voluntarily surrender his medical license. Sentencing was set for December 3rd. He faces a maximum of 40 years in prison and a $2 million fine.
That's Chuck Severson reporting. And in South Carolina, doctors say a patient in a children's hospital has died of brain-eating amoeba, likely picked up while swimming in Lake Murray. It's the first known case in South Carolina since 2016. These kind of infections happen when water you're swimming in ponds, lakes, rivers, and hot springs are forcefully shoved up your nose, and it's able to cross into the brain. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Busy Bee, HVAC and plumbing. Let me tell you something about Busy Bee. You're on your vacation. You're doing your thing. The last thing you want to do is come home and go, oh, no, everything's flooded. It happens more than I think people realize. Guess what Busy Bee has right now? Smart Wi-Fi, water shutoff valve installed by their expert techs, and they're the best. $12.49 this July only. And that's not all. Upgrade your comfort with the new HVAC system and get free air duct fogging and UV light home treatment as well. And if you need cleaner air, and boy, we do, thank goodness for them. They came over to our house, took care of everything. They're amazing. Right now, you buy the middle tier air duct cleaning. We're going to upgrade you to the Lux tier for free. Whether you've got plumbing issues, you got $1,000 off, whole home water and drain line replacements, or you've got HVAC issues, they're there for you. They're going to waive the dispatch fee when you book service with them. And if you buy the Beehive Club right now, you get a free membership to go along with it. That means you can give it to anybody you want. So you buy one, you get one free, and you can give it to anybody you like. That's what Busy Bee is all about. Call them today, no matter what issues you have, whether it's HVAC or plumbing, 775-7833, 775-7833, or online at busybeehvac.com. Oh, my God. What is this? King Louis, what is that? That was all. This is something Bell picked, right? Ugh, Bell. It's pretty awful. Can we all admit that?
What, this music?
Yeah. We apologize for that here. Should have beeped it out. Should dump that. Oh, jeez, Chad. If you guys just didn't hear, no FBI. I mean, no releasing of the grand jury indictment and files and stuff.
Yeah, the judge says she cannot legally do so under laws set by the U.S. Court of Appeals for the 11th Circuit.
Yeah. So, none. So, and here's the thing. That was all done on purpose. The grand, because they knew they were never going to get it released. So they can say, we tried. We tried. And it didn't happen. Nothing to see here. Move on. Move on. Speaking of moving on. So I was telling you guys about this. It is a fascinating, weird thing of this debate. And I like debates, right? I enjoy a good conversation. Screaming and yelling, which is what we have now reduced ourselves to in most cases. Because that's the way TV is. We don't want to watch regular things, right? If it's not exciting, we're just like, we're going to move on from it. It's boring. I didn't really like it. That's why reality TV is what it is, which is, four women sitting at a table, food fight. They're grabbing each other, wigs are flying. It's lunacy. Somebody slept with somebody's husband. It's crazy. And then just like if we went to a restaurant tonight, if the couple next to you is having a nice meal, you're not paying any attention to them. If they start screaming and yelling, you're going to turn. And we've gotten to that point now where not only do we turn, we film it. So Jubilee is this uber progressive guy, and he brings all kinds of people. He brings left-wingers, right-wingers on. And he brought these people on. They're supposed to be alt-right. And I have to be honest with you guys. I think some of them are actors. I know it sounds weird, but I feel like some of them are actors. I don't think all of them are on the up and up. I may be wrong. They may be this way, but I feel like that they're playing it. You feel like they're playing a part. They're not really telling you how they really feel. And this guy gets into it with Mehdi Hassan, who used to be on MSNBC, and they're arguing over all kinds of stuff. And then they get to the point where they start talking about, he talks about everything from immigration to, and again, they're putting it on. You're supposed to be debating this guy. And, there's a lot of stuff about Mehdi Hassan I'm not a fan of in his politics, but the dude can debate and he knows his stuff. And he starts talking to this guy, and his name is Connor. And Connor and him, Connor starts telling him about all the things that's going to happen in the world that he lives in, where, we're going to have an oligarchy or autocracy. We're going to vote on it, which is weird. And they're going to set the rules. Democrats will never have a chance to vote or do it. It's just bizarre.
And if that autocrat kills you and your family, you're fine with that?
Well, I'm not going to be a part of the group that he kills, because that's the whole thing.
How do you know?
Carl Schmitt
Autocrats tend to kill everyone,
Carl
even their own
Schmitt makes
supporters.
this point very well in his work. It's the friend-enemy distinction, right?
Carl
liberals,
Schmitt, the Nazi theoretician.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't care.
Are you a fan of the Nazis?
I frankly don't care being called a Nazi at all.
I didn't say that. I didn't actually say that. I said, are you a fan of the Nazis?
Well, they persecuted the church a little bit. I'm not a fan of that. But
what about the persecution of the Jews?
Well, I mean, I certainly don't support anyone's human dignity being assaulted. I'm a Catholic.
But you don't condemn Nazi persecution of the Jews?
I think that there was a little bit of persecution and stuff like that, which is bad. We may have to rename this show
because you're a little bit more than a far-right Republican.
Hey, what can I say?
I think you can say, I'm a fascist.
Yeah, I am. Absolutely.
I'm just checking who's clapping just to get my set of where everyone is on this.
And it was just, he was a wackadoo. He said crazy stuff. They had all kinds of people. And a lot of times they bring people on. There's one guy, honest to goodness, you would swear he was Zorro. He had the Zorro hat on. He had the Zorro mustache. He was dressed in all black. And that's why I kept thinking, this can't be real. And it just devolved into insanity. And that guy got fired. The Connor guy, he got fired. But he raised already $30,000 on a go send whatever that thing is. And I'm at the point now where I think people are they're craving attention to the point where they say the most outlandish things because people are getting rewarded for it. The quote-unquote cancel culture is different now. Cancel culture is a badge of courage that you wear around, and you brag about being canceled and then tell everybody you're a victim and then go out there and raise a ton of money. And we've seen it from a lot of people. They elevate them. And in some cases, people are so ridiculous that they get people fired for the dumbest things. And yeah, okay, I can see that. But a lot of times nowadays, especially, we have turned this into this crazy, bizarre world where saying the most insane things gets you some sort of points within a tribe that's willing to say, yes, that's awesome, because we have to go one step further, one step further, one step further. And nobody cares about facts. Facts be damned. It's who can yell the loudest, who can cause the biggest scene. Nobody's interested in solutions. Nobody ever wants to hear the truth, even if it means it's the truth that you don't. It's none of that stuff. And part of that, and I think a big part of it, is the way that we online interact with one another.
Well, there's a very obvious, I think, and sad reality to that, which is social media has completely gamified our politics and our culture. Literally, Twitter was designed like a casino. And so when we are communicating, whether it's journalists or as politicians or as members of the public sort of engaging in civic debate, quote unquote, it's all like gamified in a way that is playing on our like neurological structures. It's not, it's actually like incredibly messed up how little we think about what this has done to us, because posting is, when you're posting about your personal life, you're posting about politics, you're posting about another human being. We could have an entire conversation about the Coldplay concert when it comes to all of this, but yeah, you're maximizing retweets and likes. That's literally like casino behavior for politics and culture. Sure. And of course, it was inevitably going to change the way that we talk to each other in real life.
And we are addicted to being noticed. A younger generation in particular. And to get noticed now, if everybody's at the same, remember Spinal Tap, right? You raise it to 10, but all goes to 11. You have to do that now, or nobody pays attention to you. That's why nobody's interested in a solution, because everybody's trying to win something that's not real. They're not trying to learn. When you go into a conversation or a debate about anything, you should be wanting to go, okay, I want to learn. I want to figure out, where are you coming from? Have you ever heard my side? Have I heard your side? Because maybe I haven't. Maybe you haven't heard mine. What is the solution to this? If we're having a contract negotiation, no matter what it is, I know there are my must-haves, right? My wants, and a lot of times, we've got that thing where we're going to cross in a lot of ways. Nobody cares, though. For stuff like this, it's about being noticed. That's all it's about. It's about screaming and yelling, and I see it more and more every day. And I hear it every day. I mean, my God, we were joking earlier about Ben and Jerry's, and I had 20 text messages about what a horrible person I am because of Ben and Jerry's. One guy said I was anti-Semitic because I bought Ben and Jerry's. Like, who's that for? What do you get out of that? Did you know? And you know what, Ken? You probably had Ben and Jerry's, so you also hate the Jews. Did you know that you hated the Jews? Were you aware of that?
I had no idea.
No.
But I do like their cookies and cream.
Oh, yeah, pretty good. You know what? I eat vanilla. That's it. I'm kind of a plain
straight up vanilla, huh?
Straight up. I like cookie dough once in a while.
Yeah.
I like cookies and cream, but I'm more just a straight up vanilla. I like to get a naked sundae when I go out, like when I go to the Cheesecake Factory. Naked sundae, which is a vanilla with a little bit of whipped cream on top, and that's it. But yeah, I didn't know that you also didn't like the Jews because you went to ate Ben and Jerry's. I didn't know that was possible. It's just so ridiculous.
Well, I haven't had any in a long time.
It doesn't matter.
So maybe I'm coming around.
Unilever owns them now. What else do they make? What else? Oh my goodness.
Don't they make soap?
I think they do. I feel like they make stuff that goes inside bathrooms. Now we need to find out what Unilever makes, because now we need to know what else we may have used in their world where we could be in trouble. Consumer packed goods. All right. What else do they make? Oh, no. If you've used Persil or Axe. Oh,
Axe.
You hate the Jews.
I got to give me some of that Axe.
Axe. You know what? Speaking of smells yesterday, I swear I walked by this couple and the guy had Drakkar Noir on.
What's that?
Remember Drakkar from the 80s? That smell? It was like everywhere. It was either Polo or Drakkar.
Oh, Polo. I remember Polo.
Yeah,
Polo. Good grief, man.
Man, Polo.
People would put way too much of that.
Way too much Polo on. See who makes Polo. What are they about? Oh, goodness me. I'm telling you, you just can't. And we're going to talk, everybody wants, let's talk. Why aren't you talking about Obama? We'll talk about Obama. I want you guys to tell me what you think is going to happen. Because I'm going to tell you what I think is going to happen. Nothing. And if anybody does get in trouble, it's going to be people that are going to be sacrificed down the food chain, if that at all. Tell me what crime you have. Because I've had several of you reach out and you're telling me this is what they did, this is what they did, and none of you are even syncing up in the same there, if you will. I was listening to you during your newscast, Ken, because I do listen.
Yes, sir.
And that girl, is it the sister?
Kaylee, the sister of Kaylee.
Yeah.
Gonclaves.
Gonclaves. That right there was so stinging because he thinks he's so brilliant.
Right.
And to come out and say that he's stupid and he's not special and he's very average and all that, that right there probably had the most stinging thing he has heard out of all of the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the fact that we're talking about the Idaho murder. We're talking about the fact that he thought he was brilliant. He had that ego, like you said, sociopath, but also some weird, kind of thing that he would have been the perfect hitman for the military because he didn't have any emotions.
Right.
And
he fancies himself as smarter than everybody else.
Yeah, that's it. And that right there, I feel, kicked him in the grundle harder than anything else.
They should pipe her saying that into his cell 24/7.
24/7. That's it. Good morning. Good night. Good afternoon. Here's your, whatever her name is, Gabby or whatever.
Here's Olivia.
Olivia. And just eat his soul up every single day. Every single day. Coming up, a lot of stuff still to get to. Got some of your text messages. Love hearing from all of you. The good, the bad, and the ugly. If you're missing the show, we always say, shame on you. Grab the podcast. It is the Chad Benson Show. Super Talk 99.7. Rough Greens, ruffgreens.com. Vitamins, minerals, probiotics on a supplement. You guys know I drink energy drinks. I like that during the day. I get up. That's my go-to thing, and especially in the morning. And the same thing for your dogs. You give them their food. Dog food is dad food. You add this to it, it's going to be their dog's food to life. It's going to help them with their aches and pains in their joints. It's going to help them with their energy level. It's going to help them in ways you cannot believe, and you're going to see a huge improvement with your dog. If you're like me and you love your animals, and I do love my animals, you want them to be healthy, you want them to be happy, and you want them to be bouncy and feeling good. Saves you money, too, from the vet. Try Rough Greens. Over 1 million dogs using Rough Greens. Your dogs will absolutely love it. ruffgreens.com/Chad. They're going to send you a bag. It's absolutely free. It's a $20 value. They just ask you to cover the cost of shipping. It's a few bucks. Then just 1 scoop a day in the morning and watch what happens. ruffgreens.com/Chad. ruffgreens.com/Chad.
All right, drivers, we've got some crashes to contend with. 40 eastbound near Church Street, then 65 northbound near Rosa Parks Boulevard in Berry Hill. We've got 440 eastbound right before 65. And still showing a crash blocking the left lane, 24 eastbound at Murfreesboro Pike. Got a Jeffrey Epstein case update. A federal judge in Florida says she cannot release grand jury transcripts from the investigation of the sex trafficker there in Florida from the mid-2000s. That and more coming up at 2 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's us, kids. Having fun. Frivolity. White women love to lecture us, progressive white women, a lot of different ways. One of them is how we're going to fight fascism. Okay? Fighting fascism is extremely important. And apparently it's everywhere. I was unaware of this. So, and I've got several of these today, so be prepared. Let's start with this lady. She's going to help us fight fascism.
Things to say to piss off fascists. These upset you. Up first. No. That is a full sentence. Number 2. Can you cite your sources of information? Fair question. Fair question. Number 3. The government shall not deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. That damn Constitution. Number 4. Doing your own research does not equate to having a medical degree. And if anyone has any other ones, feel free to drop them in the comments.
No, as a sentence. Can you guys do that? Can you use it in a sentence? No, I can't.
She's got all the answers.
She's got all the as you do, man. You know what? She's got all of the answers. And the beauty of people like her and this lady right here is they've got the answers that we're missing. And this one, she's going to help us in a lot of ways.
If you know you need to face your fears and do something about fighting fascism in America, but need a stupid easy way to start because you have zero free time, even less energy.
First of all, it's already nice to know that they're kind of only fighting it when it's convenient.
Welcome. This is for you. First, I just want to name what so many of us are feeling. It is devastating to wake up every day in this country and watch more people suffer at the hands of the leaders that were elected to protect us. I know you're trying to stay informed and to not look away because looking away feels like betrayal, but you cannot keep up with it all, and this is literally by design. Fascism wants you overwhelmed. According to Jason Stanley, who's a Yale professor and the author of the book, How Fascism Works, fascism thrives by dehumanizing groups of people and overwhelming the public with crisis after crisis until apathy sets in. So every time you see a child ripped from their mother's arms by ICE, another rural hospital being shut down, veterans defunded, Medicaid gutted, trans folks criminalized, and reproductive care being stripped away, it piles on.
Okay, it piles on.
Sources? Sources, lady?
It's people, okay? Get your sources right.
Here's how to join the resistance without burning out.
Okay.
Step 1 in this process is to pick one cause. Just one. The one that pisses you off the most. The one your best friend is already involved with. Or
Vegans. My buddy hates vegans, so that's not... They're fascist, kind of, because they won't shut up about it.
the one that keeps you up at night. Here's a not even close to exhaustive list so you can see what tickles your liberal snowflake heart. Pick one. And that's your lane, baby. Step 2 is to go local. Grassroots and community-led organizations are desperate for your help. And you'll make more headway and a way deeper impact with your time than you would on the national level. Know how to find a local organization? It's so easy. All you have to do is Google the name of your city or town, county or state, plus the name of the cause that you care about. You'll get a list you can choose from. Then reach out. Tell them who you are, why you care, and what skills you have to offer.
Okay, now this is where it gets serious.
That's it. And yes, I promise you have skills to offer. They might need someone to babysit so the organizers can attend a meeting. They might need help driving folks to polls or protests, making snacks, editing.
Making snacks.
Making snacks.
Let me tell you something. The reason that it went sideways in Germany, they took away the snack makers.
That was it.
People were too hungry to eat. Then fascism, which was getting fed every day, exploded. And it couldn't be stopped. Snacks is the key. Tell you guys this. White women, what we do without you. Coming up. Hour number 3 of the program. Got some of your text messages. I'm asking you guys right now on the text line. Feel free to text at us. What do you think is going to happen with the Obama stuff? Is it much to do about nothing? Is it a distraction? Do you think something really is going to happen? What do you think actually happened? Let me know on the text line. Hour number 3 of the program is straight ahead. If you missed any show, shame, grab the podcast. It is Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.
2 o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Boy, that crash, 65 northbound there at Rosa Parks Boulevard, really backing things up right now. Got another one, 40 eastbound near Church Street. And then looks like they have just cleared that one. That was 24 eastbound at Murfreesboro Pike. Getting hot today and only hotter. And I don't think we have any chance of relief in the form of those pop-up showers and thunderstorms that have provided so much relief for some of us over the past couple of days. Right now, we're at 93 degrees, real temperature over at BNA. The heat index is 101. Full forecast coming up in 4 minutes. Jeffrey Epstein case update. A federal judge in Florida, Judge Robin L. Rosenberg, has denied the Justice Department's request to release grand jury transcripts from the investigation there in Florida in the mid-2000s. Judge Rosenberg stating she can't. She can't do it legally under the guidelines governing grand jury secrecy set by the U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals for the 11th, which includes Florida. Meanwhile, in D.C., Speaker of the House Mike Johnson defending his decision to send House members home for recess early, foregoing a vote on bipartisan legislation aimed at forcing the release of documents related to the Epstein case.
There's no fear. We're not going to allow the Democrats to use this as a political cudgel.
Tennessee 2nd District Congressman Tim Burchett telling WTN's Dan Mandis show this morning he wants to stay for a vote.
I think it's a bad look, of course. I say we vote it and let's get going. But I'm not in leadership, and I never will be in leadership because, once again, I don't raise the money and I don't kiss enough butt.
Now, Burchett successfully offered a motion directing the House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform to issue a subpoena compelling Epstein's convicted co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell to appear before a deposition. And right now in Nashville, a U.S. judge has ordered Kilmar Abrego Garcia to be released on bail while he waits for trial on human smuggling charges stemming from that 2022 traffic stop on I-40 in Tennessee. President Obama appointee, U.S. District Judge Waverly Crenshaw, upholding a previous ruling that prosecutors failed to show Abrego was a public safety risk or a flight risk. Despite this ruling, Abrego Garcia's immediate release from government custody is unlikely. And Brian Kohberger will spend the rest of his life in prison, sentenced to 4 consecutive life terms without parole for the murders of University of Idaho students Kaylee Gonclaves, Madison Mogan, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin. Christy Conclaves, the mother of Kaylee, who had sharp words for the killer.
May you continue to live your life in misery. You are officially the property of the state of Idaho, where your fellow inmates are anxiously awaiting your arrival. But it's okay, because they're there to help you. Hell will be waiting.
Yeah, this sentence resulted from a plea deal in which Kohberger admitted guilt to avoid a potential death sentence. That's the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Life in prison for Koberger. And I know that she said that that SOB, that your fellow people, prisoners, will be waiting for you, but you will probably never see another prisoner. This is one of the guys that's going to be handling everything at the prison.
He will be in confinement. It's not going to be a disciplinary segregation. It's going to be more of an administrative segregation because of the target on his back for murdering women. And he will be out an hour a day. And the former Attorney General of Idaho said he will probably be in solitary his whole life, and I agree because of that.
So no interaction with other prisoners?
No. The maximum security facility in Idaho does have a step-down program to where they can reintroduce people to other inmates, and they kind of put them in cages in the same room to where they can talk but not have contact. But I don't think he will ever get that chance. It's something he would probably be smart not wanting, because there is that target, and people in prison don't forget. He will always have that target.
Good. But he's never going to. You know what? You want him to. This is the thing. Having him in that little room for the rest of his life. And I'm with Ken, playing over and over the victim statements about what a POS he is. This is, I think her name is Aliva Conclaves. This is one of the sisters.
The scariest part about you is how painfully average you turned out to be. The truth is, you're as dumb as they come. Stupid, clumsy, slow, sloppy, weak, dirty.
And play that. We've been talking about it. He thought he could outsmart everybody. He thought he was that person that could outsmart everybody, was better than everybody. And you can't, dude. You didn't. She was right. You were sloppy. You were awful. You know, you were studying this stuff in school, and you're a sociopath. Everybody thought you had a bit of an ego, and I think Ken's right, too. I think you were obsessed with one of these girls who probably blew you off or didn't accept your friend request or blocked you on Insta, and you thought you'll get back at him. And just the worst type of person. This is Dylan Mortensen. She is one of the survivors that was there, talking about what it's like in today's world, having been that close to all the stuff that took place.
And then there are the panic attacks. The kind that slam into me like a tsunami out of nowhere. I can't breathe. I can't think. I can't stop shaking. All I can do is scream.
You listen to that. And he just looked straight on, never really made eye contact, and there's nothing there. Nothing there. That person, whoever it is, and you want to have closure. That's what you want. You want to have closure. You want to think, okay, I'm getting closure. You want your dream, if there was one out of this nightmare, was him to tell you why he did what he did. And he didn't. And he wasn't going to. And you can't compel him to. And he'll never see the light of day again. And where he lives is where he is going to live forever, inside of a room where 24/7 he will be monitored, looked at until either he takes his own life or somehow the people who are watching Epstein will take over and you kill yourself. We'll see. What a POS, though. What an awful, awful, awful human being.
Just sit there looking like a fish.
That's it. Just no emotion. And that's why you said, when you said sociopath, egomaniacal sociopath, and nobody knows, maybe you study him a little bit. Maybe you get somebody who studies him so you can start to see, is there signs that we should know about in other people? Because that's why our curiosity is to find out in life. We want to know why people do what they do. So maybe we can stop people, hopefully, in the future. But this guy, I don't even think I've ever seen him utter a word.
Other than whenever the judge asked him, did you kill such and such? Yes.
Yeah. That was
yes.
it. That was it. And gone for good. Gone for good.
I tell you, I tell you, the family of Kaylee Goncalves, they are the ones that would like to have just 5 minutes alone.
Yeah. Her brother. I mean, who wouldn't, as a father, as a son, as a brother, as a nephew or an uncle or a friend.
Yeah.
Just a moment.
You know, you just want to come over those seats and just get him.
I always remember, was it Dahmer, Jeffrey Dahmer?
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Where the victim impact statement, then the one sister, she got out of the thing, she started coming towards Jeffrey.
That lady
and the guys are like, well, let's see how far she gets.
I'm telling you, she would have gone straight for his eyes.
Yeah. So
that lady she was ready.
She was ready. So we were talking about the Idaho killer, Brian Koberger, sentenced to 4 life sentences without the possibility.
Consecutive.
So that's forever and then some. There's no possibility of parole.
Nope.
He's never getting out. 23 hours in isolation, 1 hour a day, no contact with anybody else. That's what he is going to get. Good riddance to bad rubbish. May he, I don't know, find the Lord or do something, dude, because you are the worst type of person. And everybody knows it. It is so, first of all, how this became a massive story, and we talked about it to start the show, that the fact that people were lined up to get in there to see it as if it was some big party.
Yeah, like when you're watching like the Today Show in the morning, behind Savannah and Craig Melvin, you see tourists that are in the windows. And it doesn't matter what they're talking about. They could be doing a terrible story, and the tourists behind them are just waving and then looking at themselves, you know. Well, that's what I saw these 3 ladies today standing in line to get into the Ada County Courthouse there in Boise. The camera comes on them, and they just smile and wave. That's complete disrespect.
Yeah.
This is not a show.
No, it's not. And because we've turned crime into entertainment. Whether it is obsession with killers because they have infamy, which is, you know, that they're famous for the horrible things they've done, or, you know, whether it's, you know, even now with the Epstein stuff, because now it's become that, you know, palace intrigue, and what about, there's royals involved and spies, and there's murder potentially, and billions of dollars, and all. We've turned people's tragedy into something that's must-see TV. Which is, what's that say about us? I mean, as a species, I don't know. It's crazy. Speaking of must-see TV, everybody's out. Well, I've been asking you guys, the whole Obama thing, right? Reliving everything. Trump the other day is like, why are you guys still talking about, you know, Epstein? Yesterday he said, that's in the past. Let's talk about Obama. Also in the past, but let's talk about it. What do you think, honestly, is going to happen? Don't tell me what you think you want to happen. And then text the show. Tell me what you think was the coup. I want to know. I'm here from some of you guys who are chiming in. This is earlier today at the White House.
The president yesterday, you've inferred that the former president helped lead a coup. Based on what you now see, do you believe President Obama is guilty of treason?
I'm leaving the criminal charges to the Department of Justice. I'm not an attorney, but as I've said previously, when you look at the intent behind creating a fake manufactured intelligence document that directly contradicts multiple assessments that were created by the intelligence community, the expressed intent and what followed afterward can only be described as a years-long coup and a treasonous conspiracy against the American people, our republic, and an attempt to undermine President Trump's administration.
So what exactly does that mean? That's saying a lot, Tulsi. That's saying a lot. What exactly does that mean? Does that mean thrown out of office? Does that mean, you know, because this happened after he had won the election. So what exactly, the undermining his administration and there's nuance in this, which people don't want to hear. They want it to be it's this or it's that. And depending on what side of the aisle you're on, you're only listening. If you're watching MSNBC or something, or you don't like Trump, you're like, this is nothing. It's not nothing. If you're on the right, this is super important, and look at all the things they did, and it's not probably what you think it is, and it's not the biggest thing in the world. It's a little nuance. What they did was awful. What they did was horrible in the fact that they knew it was BS, and Obama said, yeah, go find out more. You can find me. They come back to this, and the leak was the thing that undermined everything, and it took off from there. And then the undermining of the administration and putting everything into hell, that was the battle for all of this. And it's ridiculous, and it's horrible. The fact that even Obama came out and said something yesterday was fascinating. Does it rise to a coup? Well, she said it was treason the other day. She's not saying it's treason now. And now it's on to Pam Bondi, which I have heard from several of you that nothing's going to happen because nothing ever happens to people in situations like this. Nothing does. I mean, and by the way, Brennan and all these guys, they've all lied in the past to Congress. They've all lied in the past on several, especially the intelligence agencies, which have lied forever and a day. Take Obama and Trump out of it. They've lied forever. My goodness, go look at they lied to get us into a war where millions of people died and trillions of dollars disappeared. You want to talk about what could be up against it? Is the American people and the intelligence agencies and doing the right thing, going rogue, regardless of who's in office. A couple of years ago, I think her name was Claire Danes. I think that's her name. She was doing Homeland or whatever that show was. She was talking. She was actually on Colbert talking about meeting with during the Trump administration, meeting with because when they were doing that, one of the things she said, they have kind of like spy camp where they go and they meet, spies, and then they meet, people who've been in the field for various things, some in the FBI, some in the CIA, some in the NSA, and they talk about stuff. And she said the one thing that caught her by surprise is they said, things have changed, and we're a lot more chummy with the news media than we were before. Well, that's not good at all. It isn't. But the perp walk, all that stuff that I think a lot of people want, it's not going to happen. It isn't. And then you're going to be disappointed and pissed off because you want something to happen. And part of that's on the fact that you've also got a group of people right now that I think are questioning what exactly they're to do. There's no doubt that, look, Tulsi Gabbard, by the way, remember her. Some of this is personal with her, too, because they went after her and thought she was a Russian agent. We forget that. Remember that she was on The View. She was talking about, oh, we think you're a Russian asset. That's the kind of insanity these people spew. But it's what you can prove. And does Pam Bondi want to overpromise and undeliver? She's already done that once, and that's not going over well. And that's not going away either, despite the fact that a lot of people would like it to, especially this administration. We got some news about that as well. Coming up, we got some of that. Some more one-hit wonder Wednesday. Do some of that. Shark Week. I'm going to tell you what's going on in Shark Week now. And let's be real. We watch Shark Week for shark attacks. That's really why we watch Shark Week. Because we're all fascinated about sharks and things that can eat us. It's a weird thing. I know. It's true, though. This is the Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. Bulwark Capital. Tomorrow night, 5:30 our time, halftime report. Not X's and O's, but dollars and cents. No rah-rah. It is the go time. They're going to tell you what's going to happen for the rest of the year. They are crushing it. They're different than everybody else. The way that they handle money, the way that they do things, whether it's your retirement investment, it's built for you, and they have a plan. and my buddy Zach Abraham handles my money, my family's money. He's incredible. You are going to learn a lot. It is a webinar. It is free for you to attend. All you have to do is go to knowyourriskpodcast.com. They're going to talk about global unrest, tariffs. They're going to talk about a lot of different things and how they're so much different than everybody else, and they are. A lot of places say that, and in reality, they're not what you think. He is, and they are. Bulwark Capital, tomorrow night, it is a free webinar. It's the halftime webinar. It's happening tomorrow night at 5:30 our time. Sign up at knowyourriskpodcast.com. Knowyourriskpodcast.com. Investment advisory service offered through Trek Financial LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Investment involved risk, not a guarantee. Past performance not guarantee future results. Trek 25252.
All right, drivers got a crash 40 eastbound near Church Street. Then we're still working that 165 northbound near Rosa Parks Boulevard. Haywood Lane and Antioch Pike, that's an injury crash reported by police. And a federal judge in Nashville says Kilmar Abrego Garcia is not a flight risk and has ordered him released on bail. We'll tell you about it at 2:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
It's like, yeah, I mean, forget it, man. It's just like, people make such a big deal out of it. It's like, does Christopher Lee play golf with vampires' teeth? You know, do all these people that, you know, who do the horror movies walk around with black cloaks on every day of the week? It's just a role I play in life, and I enjoy it, and I give people enjoyment. So what's the harm in that?
That was Ozzy talking several years ago about the fact that he gets blamed for all of this, you know, crazy stuff. You know what's crazy? I saw an interview with him, Ken, with a young Geraldo Rivera, asking him about him being a Satan worshiper and say, you know, and he's just like, it's not who I am. This is a part I play.
Showbiz.
It is. And he was that was exactly what it was. It was a part he played. And, but he talked about just the chaos and like the Tipper Gores of the world. And everybody's like, no, it's bad. Oh, you're going to hell if you listen to that stuff. Ah. Oh, Ozzy. I think we're going to find out more because there was a, they're talking about there may have been an attempt to save him. And I don't know how bad. I mean, he just performed a couple, 16 days ago, 15 days ago, whatever it was.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah. I mean, and he hasn't looked, and he's had, and I didn't realize how long. I thought it was 2010. He's had it since 2005, Parkinson's. So he's had it for quite a while. And lived those 9 lives. No doubt spent them all eventually. There is no doubt about that. They're not releasing any of the, which we all knew they were never going to release any of the Epstein grand jury stuff. That was just never going to happen because that was never going to happen. Mike Johnson earlier.
There's no fear. We're not going to allow the Democrats to use this as a political cudgel.
By the way, they wanted to throw that amendment out there. That was a bipartisan amendment. This had nothing to do with the Democrats alone. And they're scrambling, trying to figure this out. They're hoping and praying that the Obama stuff takes over. And it's not, people may be interested in it, but it's 2 different levels of interest. You have a younger generation that helped Trump get over the line in a massive way, especially young men. They didn't really care so much about Russia. They were younger, didn't pay that much to to politics. They got in it with the podcasting world over the last several years. That wasn't their jam. Their jam, when it comes to the deep state, is Epstein. So while some of you are like, no, we should only focus on this, we can do both. I have heard, and maybe I'm wrong, that America is pretty good at stuff. That maybe we can do both. And as you've heard Ken playing Burchett talking about, it's not a good look. And Trump yesterday talking about don't focus on Epstein. Focus on this. I mean, you're telegraphing all of the stuff. Well, now stuff coming out from the DOJ saying Trump is in many of the files. How he's in them doesn't mean anything. And again, I've said this over and over again. Trump may have, because you know somebody, because you were friends with somebody, doesn't mean that you've done anything wrong. And in a world where perception becomes the reality, so yeah, we should have questions. Because this was an issue. Either 2 things. This was never an issue and you've lied to everybody. Or there's stuff here and we should have a conversation. And if we're serious about holding people accountable, child trafficking and molestation and sexual assault and things of that nature should be dealt with. And if powerful men are doing that and then other powerful men are blackmailing them, that's a conversation we should have. Absolutely. Coming up, we're going to pivot as we do. One Hit Wonder Wednesday. We're going to go over a one hit wonder. We did it earlier. We're going to give it to you again. Several of you asked, what was your one hit wonder? We'll do that among other things and also give you what's going on with Shark Week tonight. What are the cool things on Shark Week tonight? Is there a tax? Because as I said earlier, Shark Week's fun, but I want to see and hear about a tax. So we'll talk about that as well. If you missed any show, grab the podcast. Chad Benson, Super Talk 99.7.
.2:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Drivers still got a crash 40 eastbound near Church Street, 65 northbound near Rosa Parks Boulevard. Looks like we got one Haywood Lane at Antioch Pike, and Metro Police say that's an injury crash. And it is hot, only getting hotter right now. The real temperature is 93 degrees, according to BNA, and the heat index is up to 101. Got the full forecast in 5 minutes. Right now in Nashville, President Obama appointee, U.S. District Judge Waverly Crenshaw, ordering Kilmar Abrego Garcia released from jail while he awaits trial on human smuggling charges. Jeffrey Epstein case update. Another Obama-appointed federal judge in Florida, Judge Robin L. Rosenberg, denied the Justice Department's request to release grand jury transcripts from the investigation in Florida in the mid-2000s. Judge Rosenberg stated she can't legally under the guidelines governing grand jury secrecy set by the U.S. Court of Appeals for the 11th Circuit, which includes Florida. And Brian Kohberger will spend the rest of his life in prison, sentenced to 4 consecutive life terms without parole for the murders of University of Idaho students Kaylee Gonclaves, Madison Mogan, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin. Olivia Gonclaves, the sister of Kaylee, had sharp words for Kohberger.
The scariest part about you is how painfully average you turned out to be. The truth is, you're as dumb as they come. Stupid, clumsy, slow, sloppy, weak, dirty.
The sentence resulted from a plea deal in which Kohberger admitted guilt and avoided a potential death sentence. That's the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Let's talk about you're back. Getting it back with my friends over at the Wellness Institute of Nashville. Dr. Ashley, Dr. Mitchell, the best. Right now, the Big Daddy Trump special, $12, comprehensive exam, x-rays if needed, and they're going to explain their diagnosis. That's all going to happen on your first treatment. If you got an MRI, bring it as well. You want to be pain-free. Everybody wants pain-free life. And a lot of times you get frustrated. You think, I'm going to have surgery and have to do all this stuff. Not with the Wellness Institute of Nashville. Don't believe me? Go to thepainisbad.com or call them and make an appointment. 615-246-5009. 614-246-5009. You want to feel better, and sometimes you think, I've just done everything. You haven't gone to the best around. Dr. Mitchell and Dr. Ashley have years, decades of experience. They've trained with the best, and they've got the best equipment. They're going to get you up and running and feeling great. Sign up today. Get that $12 special. It's a comprehensive exam, x-rays if needed, and they're going to explain the diagnosis and everything right there and get you up and running. 615-246-5009 or painisbad.com. I think they're going to subpoena Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yep, they have.
They said to her, "You've been subpoenaed. Do you know what I mean?" How's this work? Is it going to be just that one guy, the second in charge, AG? Is he going to just go there and meet with her like it's a movie?
I don't know if this is Congress.
This is what I thought, right? It's Congress.
Yeah, this is James Comer, head of the House Oversight Committee, issuing the subpoena to testify before Congress, either before Congress or, as Congressman Tim Burchett said, they may have to do it from the jail cell.
Wow. And like we said earlier, several reports out there that because it does feel like there's a push away from this. They're already talking about going through Hillary's emails again. And I'm like, really? And at the end of the day, Ken and I still want to know why beef costs so much. And that's what matters.
Yeah, I like meat.
Yeah, I do too. We're not a fan of the vegans, but we like the meat. We're good. We like the fact there's lots of vegans, because if there was more, then meat would be cheaper. But then we'd have to hear about it all day. And if we were the last two, Ken, oh, God, could you imagine the pressure they'd put on us?
And I'd like for Jerome Powell to lower the interest rate.
I'd love that too. You know, it's funny. We want him to lower the rates, but kind of just for us, not for other people. So they go out and spend, and so everything rises. Just in a certain area for, you know what I'm saying? So is Camaro Abrego Garcia, the Maryland father, is he going to try to get out, or is he just going to be like, you know what, I'll wait?
I don't know, man. This judge is ordering him released. The judge in Nashville says he's not a flight risk. Let him out on bail. Well, in the meantime, you have that judge in Maryland who has barred the Trump administration from immediately detaining and deporting Garcia upon his release. She ordered that he be returned to Maryland from Tennessee and be placed under an order of supervision by
like house
ICE.
arrest.
Yeah.
So that's yeah, because if the Trump administration has their ways, they're going to go. Have you ever heard of Eritrea?
Yeah.
It's hot, so you're going to want to take some shorts.
So I don't know how, I mean, now we just wait for, the Justice Department to respond.
So we'll find out. A lot of stuff going on. So House Oversight Committee, though, has subpoenaed Ghislaine Maxwell for deposition. If you're her, this is what you say. Tell me what I need to say. You say this to your attorney. Tell me who I need to tell, and tell me what I need to say to get out of here. Do I need to say nobody was involved? It was just this cat? Do I need to say it was just this and it was just the Democrat? Just tell me who I need to tell something to so they say you can go. That's you're thinking that. I mean, you want to get out. And the Department of Justice is coming, and it's under Trump. And I know nobody would weaponize or use it to their advantage. The hell you wouldn't. Of course you would. So we'll find out what this looks like. And you juxtapose that versus whatever's in the files, not the grand jury stuff, because the judge said, nah, not going to work. Each and every week we have fun that has nothing to do with politics, because we really kind of like doing that more than anything else. And we have a one-hit wonder Wednesday. So I break down one amazing song from one amazing artist, and it's the only song that ever did crap for them. And sometimes they're a band, and you're like, oh, I remember that song. Sometimes you love the song, you have no idea who sings it and what's the band's name. You have no idea any of those things. And we call it One Hit Wonder Wednesday.
Now it's time for another edition of One Hit Wonder Wednesday. You may not remember the name of the band, but you definitely know the song.
Come my lady, come my lady, you're my butterfly.
This is One Hit Wonder Wednesday.
So my one-hit wonder comes from the 1970s, and it was a song that really was the perfect timing. It was a B-side. They told this guy, we need a B-side. And he wrote it in 10 minutes, sang it once. They added some music later on, and away they went. He didn't think anything of it because the ballad was on the A side. The ballad was going to be it. He was born in London. He was born in Jamaica, but raised in London. And what was going on at the time in America and around the world, but really in America, was disco was huge and kung fu was the hot thing. You put them together, you got Carl Douglas and his masterpiece. And the only hit he ever had. Number one in America, the UK, Australia, just about everywhere else. 11 million copies sold. Everybody was kung fu fighting.
Everybody was kung fu fighting. Those kids were fast as lightning. In fact, it was a little bit frightening. But they fought with expert timing. There were funky Chinamen from funky Chinatown.
You shouldn't say that, Carl. It was a massive hit. Sold 11 million copies. Dude tried for years to come up with something else.
It was played at every swimming pool and every
roller rink,
skating rink.
Disco.
Back in the 70s,
It
man.
was,
I had my mom hair, the haircut my mom gave me with her scissors where my bangs are crooked, but my hair's still long, so I didn't care.
Oh, that is so cool. Going out there, hanging out, skating with your friends, riding around.
Trying to do the limbo and cracking my butt.
Trying to do the limbo.
Remember that?
Oh, yes.
It's time to do the limbo, skaters.
Oh, Lord. You ever see those people that they do the splits?
Yeah,
when they do the limbo and they go all the way down to the ground?
Yeah, those people are next level.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about.
I don't even know what that would feel like if that happened to me.
I would say if that happened to you, chances are you fell off a ladder from high and your legs got tangled up and you did the splits. That's what I think would happen.
I would probably pray for swamp ass at that point.
Yes. So speaking of that, we got to go outside and do our reports. Your one-hit wonder of the day, Carl Douglas, the man, the myth, the legend. Still alive, by the way, 83 years young
Good
and
for
enjoying
him.
his life.
I hope so, man.
And you know what? He says, even though there's controversy because of today's world of, political correctness and some of the stuff he says, it was meant to be an homage. This is great. We love Kung Fu, and it's awesome. And you throw that with some disco, and you have that. It is that time of day, though, because of the heat. We need to go outside and check with the weather wizard about, swamp ass.
Now it's time for the Swamp Ass News Report with the weather wizard, Ken Weaver.
All right, give it to us
the
straight.
meter is buzzing, boys.
Tell me about it.
Swamp ass meter is buzzing. We got real temperature of 93 degrees. And heat index, 101. So it's buzzing. We're getting closer to the max, which our meter only goes to 105.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going to happen if it reaches the forecast heat index, which is 108. We might have to get a whole new meter.
We might have to. Just like Spinal Tap. We have to put it on 11.
Right.
Some people's goes to 10. Ours goes to 11. So stupid. Oh, my.
Christopher Guest is awesome, man.
He is. Well, I mean, if you've ever seen anybody's ever seen Christopher Guest movies, was it Welcome?
Yeah.
I mean, his satire is brilliant because he takes regular people, puts them in hilarious situations where they're always in over their head, and the only one who don't know they're over their head are the people that are in it.
Right. He did this. He wrote this skit with Marty Short And I can't remember the other comedian's name. Where
is it? The swimming one?
Yes.
Where they were going to be the first male synchronized
Yes,
swimmers.
that's it.
And Marty Short wasn't a strong swimmer.
Yeah, I'm not a strong swimmer.
And when they're pointing at each other, hey, I know you. I know. Oh, no, you're not mad. That's right. You know him. You know him. Ooh.
See, you could get in trouble for doing that today, too.
You could, because he was special is what we're trying to say. He had the water wings on. That was the other thing, because he couldn't swim, and they were going to be the first ones in the Olympics. He couldn't swim.
The first non-swimmer.
And there's also no male synchronized swimmer.
Right.
But they were going to break the mold.
They were going to break down barriers, man.
Oh, big time. We're going to wrap it up. We got our buddy, Matt, coming on in, talk about all kinds of stuff. A lot of stuff he's going to have to talk about. That is kind of hit us towards the end of the show, including Ghislaine Maxwell being subpoenaed by Congress. You've also got the Department of Justice saying, no, you guys don't get a look at the grand jury files, and a bunch of other things as well, including Obama and coups and whatnot. So we'll see. We'll see what he's talking about. Maybe today he talks about Kilmar Obrego, who is apparently getting out. And somebody said, who's paying for that? There's enough people out there in these nonprofits. I'm sure they're going to be the ones that cover it.
Well, I mean, look at his lawyer.
Or lawyers.
Yes.
That guy is stacked. So a bunch of stuff still to get to. Matt will be here straight away. It is Chad Benson, Super Talk 99.7. My Pillow. It's got two sales going on. One is the Percale bed sheets. We've talked about those. $29.88, any size. 11 different colors to choose from. Absolutely incredible. Fit, feel, and comfort second to none. The other one is Rev 7. It's their new energy drink, which I know what you're thinking. Really? What's that? No sugar, no caffeine, no crash, no jitters with this. And Rev 7 is incredible. It's got cognizant in it, right? So what does that do? Premium nootropic. This helps big time. Boost focus and mental clarity. On top of that, it has got Go BHB, which is a natural ketone. And what that does is your body is clean, efficient fuel for your body. It is incredible. Right now, if you sign up for the subscriptions bi-weekly, they're going to send you out a 3-pack for free. These things taste amazing. There's no sugar, no caffeine, no calories. It's incredible. Sign up now. Hurry. Visit mypillow.com/Benson. Both of these deals are going on right now. mypillow.com/Benson. Get yours now at mypillow.com/Benson. People are not smart. Remember to turn it on there. All right, there we go. King Louie's like, remind me today.
My man Louie.
So,
You're Mike hot
Love
today.
it. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
What's going on there,
It's hot
Chadley?
outside.
It is hot outside.
Yeah, it's we're heading towards
109 in my truck when I got
5 swamp asses.
Is that the most swamp asses?
That's it. That's as high as we get. After that,
we're on a 5 swamp ass scale.
5 swamp ass scale, and then you're going to get ice on your grundle.
Oh yeah,
peas, stuff
that
like that.
happens too.
It's gonna be
Sure,
hot. And
sure. What's been going on? What's the big word?
we had a little fun. We had our one hit wonder Wednesday, our best one hit Wednesday. We did Kung Fu Fighting by Carl Douglas.
Kung Fu Fighting.
It's a great song.
I always wanted it. It became a little too popular, and I'll shy away from it when everybody's doing it. But I love the T-shirt. Surely everybody wasn't Kung Fu Fighting. That's what it says. That's what it says on the T. I love the T. Surely everybody wasn't Kung Fu
Well, a lot
Fighting.
of people were, but not everybody's right. Yeah, some
Come
people were
on.
doing judo, if that's what you're asking. Some
Come
people did
on.
karate. By the way, I like your shirt.
Thank you.
got that when we were
I'm
golfing.
very excited about this shirt. One, because we were together the day I bought this shirt, and the heavens opened up. My goodness gracious! Did y'all finish?
No.
We
We
did
got
not.
through
It was bad.
13 holes, I think, before God said, you need to go sit up there, and then I'm going to put on a lightning show with you next to electronics and a lake. So have fun.
On the second floor of a building.
On the second floor of a building.
Of a very old building. Very flammable.
Very
building.
flammable.
Yeah. But I was very excited because this is the first day that I've worn a long sleeve shirt, and I was able to finagle it,
Yeah.
which is tricky. Now you can't use the left arm.
No, you can't.
Gotta just leave
So
that
you
alone.
just got to start first.
Yeah,
And it's
let-
weird
let-
to see
yeah.
you in a long sleeve shirt when it's 100 bazillion degrees outside.
Yeah, it's a podcast taping day. I'll peel the curtain back for all of the Chad Benson listening audience. On Wednesdays, we tape the podcast, All the Best Words, and it can be found on our podcast page, YouTube, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. And we tape multiple episodes. And so, much like Wheel of Fortune or Jeopardy, if you're taping multiple episodes in one day, got to bring some change of clothes.
That's nice.
And so I decided to go with this.
I like it. Smart. Very
Yeah,
smart.
yeah.
So
I don't know how smart it is because it's 180 degrees.
Well, no, but you also have to have several. Sometimes people probably wouldn't have thought it. They would just showed up with one outfit. You can't do that.
No, it looks weired.
It does. It looks
Like, does
so
Murphy ever
weird.
change clothes?
He's only
What's
got one
wrong with
outfit.
him? He's got one.
This is it. What are you talking about today?
We got Andy Ogles coming back on the show. Congressman Ogles is going to speak to us about his concerns involving Belmont.
Yes, that's
a lot of
right.
back and forth going on there. And I just want to know, at what point Andy, if at any point, he reached out to Belmont University. So we'll find that out today. We'll talk to him about some
Do
other
you
matters.
think that maybe Andy's putting it a little bit on, trying to be extra.
Well, my question for Congressman Ogles will be, did you, prior to going public, reach out to the president of Belmont and talk to them about this? Because what they say, and Belmont is a very esteemed
Yeah, this is not.
university around here. I mean, and even people that don't want DEI programs within the university are like, what? And Belmont says this was one guy shooting his mouth off, had no authority whatsoever. That's not the way that any of this is going. And so we'll get to the bottom of that. So that's exciting.
That's cool.
But yeah, maybe a little more. And I'll ask why did we pack it up and leave it in Washington, D.C.?
Well, they have. I don't know if you're aware of this. They have now subpoenaed her. The Congress has subpoenaed
Well, that's
her.
great. Is that the Oversight Committee?
Yeah, they're bringing her in, and I don't know how that's. I don't know.
How's that going to be? Closed doors, I bet?
Well, you know what? Closed doors is the only way you get something done. In public, it's all about the people asking the question because they want their 5 minutes
Right.
of Instagram.
They'll talk for 4 minutes and 40 seconds. And
What do you think of that? Time is up. Sorry, you didn't answer my question. Like, what are you talking about?
Right.
So I hope it's behind, and I think this will be behind because I'm not even quite sure how they're going to go about doing it. We're talking like, do you go to the, because if you heard Burchett today on with the hugger Dan, he just said they shouldn't have packed it up. It doesn't look very good, and they should see this thing through.
The Republicans should not do anything that makes them appear to be afraid of this subject.
Yes.
And I frankly think the Trump administration has pivoted to a certain degree. He misplayed it. He doubted the importance of the Epstein subject with his base.
Yes.
when he said, we need to move on, this is silly, and we all remember that.
Yeah, don't look backwards. Let's look backwards.
Right. So since then, he said, well, I've directed the Department of Justice to ask the judge if we can
And they
release
said
Trent.
no today.
And I'm going to direct my attorney general to go, and she's going to send people over to. But my thing is, the one person with the Department of Justice hasn't interviewed Ghislaine Maxwell?
No, apparently not only that, they hadn't interviewed her for a while. Ever.
But they prosecuted her.
So
I'm not even blaming. I don't even know where this goes. I'm just confused. She was federally prosecuted, and you're telling me that no one thought that maybe you should go and sit down and talk to the one human being on planet Earth that might have direct knowledge of other people engaging in criminal acts.
Yeah. No, they didn't.
I mean, it's amazing.
It all feels very, and again, people being on the list doesn't mean they're guilty of something, but it all does feel very, we're protecting everybody as much as possible. And we're sending this out to everybody who's involved. We, as the government, have your back. And I don't think America wants to hear that anymore.
We don't like it. So we'll do all of that. We got a little more tunnel talk.
Oh,
tunnel talk in Nashville, baby.
Woo,
Very excited about that.
It's not just going to Broadway or your house, as he'll explain. You guys have a good day. We'll do it again tomorrow.